Manchester United have agreed a €30 million deal with Napoli for Scott McTominay, but the player is demanding a payoff to leave. Amrabat deal refused and Jadon Sancho set back. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show. But before we get into that, please do me one small favour. Smash a like on today's video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We're literally just about to hit 40,000 subscribers. So if this is your first time watching, please do subscribe. I'm live every day at 8:30, 1:30 and 6 UK time. Right, let's start the show off by talking about Jadon Sancho. So this is coming out from multiple different Italian outlets. It's being reported by Manchester Evening News as well. And apparently Manchester United are willing to now discount the asking price for Jadon Sancho. Apparently Juventus don't have the money. What a surprise. The same old, same old. Juventus supposedly now don't have the money in order to get the Jadon Sancho deal done. Manchester United are apparently asking for a loan with an obligation to buy. But apparently Juventus are saying that they don't even have the money to pay the wages. So we would have to contribute to his wages for 12 months. At the end of the 12 months, he would then leave and move to Juventus on a permanent deal. Now, morally, that sounds a little bit off-putting, but I think we're at the stage now where we just need to get Jadon Sancho out of the club. And if that's the only option we have, we loan him for 12 months. Maybe we contribute a quarter of his salary, say. Juventus pay the rest, and then in 12 months, he's their problem. I probably would take it. I mean, it's not ideal, but we need to get him off the wage bill. We need to get him out of the club. We need to go and reinforce and bring in someone to replace him before Friday's deadline. So yeah, it's not ideal, but as long as this deal happens, I'll be happy. I think Jadon's had more than enough opportunities at Manchester United. He's been here, this is his 4th season, right? And I can't remember any game where he's been particularly good, to be honest. He's had a couple of odd moments where he's looked decent, but his attitude isn't there. He clearly doesn't want to be at Manchester United. Apparently, he handed in a transfer request after the Fulham game last week. Fabrizio said that he's not in the squad because he's going to leave. Like, we just need to get rid of him. We need to stop talking about him, and we need to, move on positively. Whatever you think about Ten Hag, it kind of goes out the window with this one. Like, Jadon Sancho doesn't have a future at Manchester United. Even if a new manager comes in, I don't think we can undo what the situation we're in now. So yeah, Jadon Sancho for me has to go, and hopefully Juventus, manage to get this deal completed before the window closes on Friday. The next story I've got for you is on Sofyan Amrabat. This is coming out again from multiple different Italian outlets, including Corriere dello Sport. Other Italian sources as well are reporting that apparently Manchester United have refused to pay Fiorentina's €15 million asking price for Sofyan Amrabat. Apparently the deal is now over. Amrabat will not be joining Manchester United. It says that there has been talks in recent days between Fiorentina and Manchester United. Effectively, Fiorentina contacting Manchester United saying, would you still be interested in signing Sofyan Amrabat? You can have him for €15 million. Manchester United apparently turning around saying, no, we don't want him. It's not going to happen. So that's fine. No problem with that. I would have signed Amrabat 8 weeks ago, but I think now that the season started, we clearly don't want him. And I don't want players at the club that we don't want. If he's not a target, if he's not the top 1, 2 or 3 target in the list, then don't sign him. He clearly isn't. We were interested in Sander Berg. That was widely reported. We're obviously wanting to get Manuel Ugarte. There's an interest in Rabiot. There's an interest in Fofana. There was a slight interest in Zubimendi. I think Amrabat was literally at the bottom of our list of players. So for me personally, I have no problem with us missing out on targets if they are so far down the list. I want us to get our number 1 target. Our number 1 target is Manuel Ugarte. I don't want Amrabat if he's not who we want. As I said, we could have signed him 10 weeks ago. After the FA Cup final in May, we could have announced that Amrabat was staying. It would have been an easy deal to do. There was a release clause. We could have signed him the day after the FA Cup final, but we clearly didn't want to do that. So for me, I've got no problem with this. I personally would have kept him. I think he's a decent player to have in the squad. I think, when you're getting rid of people like Eriksen, hopefully McTominay looks like he's going to go, Hannibal's going to go. Amrabat would have been a decent backup player, but it's irrelevant now. So no problem with that. Moving on to Manuel Ugarte, this is coming out from Fabrizio Romano, and he's reporting in the last couple of minutes that apparently Manuel Ugarte is now waiting in Paris to travel to Manchester. Great. I mean, we just need to get this player through the door now, and hope that he comes in and hits the ground running. Because for me personally, I like Casemiro. I think he's a quality CDM in his day. When he was back playing for Real Madrid, but I think he's just a little bit past it now. I wanted nothing more than Casemiro to have this amazing season this year and for us to sit here and say, we don't need to sign a CDM. But I think it's clear as day that even if Casemiro has a good season, we still need to bring in Manuel Ugarte because we don't have any other options in that position. We're so light. Our midfield as a whole is really light. Obviously, you've got Bruno and Mount as the two number 10s, central attacking midfielders, but the rest of the midfield, in my opinion, is really, really weak at the moment. Obviously, Mainu is a great player. He's a great prospect, all the rest of it, but he still is very young. We can't be relying on Mainu to play every single game of every single minute. That's not good for his development. We don't want to burn him out. We don't want to make the same mistakes as we made with people like Rashford, where we completely burn the players out, and then you see what Rashford's like now, right? Remember what Rashford was like when he first burst onto the scene against Midtjylland 6-7 years ago. Like, he was unplayable. He was unbeatable for many, many years, and now he just I don't know, he just looks burnt out. He just looks like he doesn't care anymore, and we can't make those same mistakes with Mainu. So we desperately need to strengthen that midfield. I personally think we need two midfielders. I think, Manuel Ugarte, bring him in. I would even go and look for someone like Rabiot. Like, we're at this point now where we just need squad depth. We need quality, and I think Rabiot is better than Eriksen. Rabiot is better than McTominay, clearly. He's better than Hannibal. I would bring him in. We desperately need to strengthen that squad, because even our starting 11, we lose to Brighton on the weekend, right? What happens if Mainu and Casemiro get injured? It's going to be Eriksen and Hannibal now, probably. McTominay's gone. Like, we need to strengthen so badly. Hopefully we can get a couple more deals done before the window ends. That's the latest on Manuel Ugarte. I think we'll get the here we go very, very soon, to be honest. So, yeah, let's just be patient. I know it's frustrating, but obviously PSG are holding out for their price, and Manchester United are effectively saying we don't want to pay it. So it's just one of those ones where there's going to be back and forth. But moving on from that, I want to talk about Scott McTominay. So this is coming up from Fabrizio Romano in the last couple of minutes. So for anybody who's unaware, Manchester United have agreed a 30 million euros deal with Napoli. That's been confirmed by Fabrizio. It's been confirmed by David Ornstein. It's being widely reported that a deal has been agreed. 30 million euros plus add-ons plus a sell-on clause. No problem with that at all. Great bit of business. But there is a bit of a catch. So this is coming out from Fabrizio in the last couple of minutes. He's saying that after the agreement between Manchester United and Napoli for Scott McTominay and Manchester United must now agree on some details about his departure, the same as Aaron Wan-Bissaka. So for anybody who doesn't know what this means, right? McTominay's now into the final year of his contract. He's a free agent in June. So literally in less than a year. In 10 months, McTominay is a free agent. Similar to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Manchester United have this stupid thing in their contracts where if a player runs into their final year of their deal, they can apparently demand 50% of the fee. Now, will McTominay do that? We all think he's this boy who's come through the youth academy and he loves the team and all the rest of it. From what Fabrizio said, and he's effectively saying that before McTominay agrees to leave, the same as what happened with Wan-Bissaka, him and Manchester United are going to have to agree a payoff. He wants money in order to leave. He wants to go to Napoli. He spoke to Conte. He's agreed personal terms. But the final piece of the puzzle is now Manchester United agreeing a severance package, if you like, or a payoff, whatever you want to call it, with McTominay to convince him to go. And I mean, it's just frustrating, isn't it, that we've been run this badly, that we're one of the only clubs that has these things included in contracts. Like, you don't see this at other top clubs. They're not paying their players to leave. Like, it's very, very rare. The only instance where that happens is where a player is moving to a new team and the new team isn't willing to pay him the same amount of money in wages. Whereas McTominay only earns 60 grand a week. And from what I've seen, Napoli are willing to pay him more than 60,000 a week. So there's no problem there. McTominay's moving to Napoli. He'll get a signing on fee from Napoli and he's going to get his salary increased. But yet he still wants money in order from Manchester United for him to go. I mean, some would say he's entitled to it. Some would say that that's just, part of how football is. Some would say that that's in his contract. And I agree with that somewhat. Like, it's easy for us to kick off and say what a disgrace and all the rest of it. But the real disgrace here is the Glazers and the people who agreed these deals. Like, why did they insert these things into the contracts? Like, it doesn't make any sense and it's just stupid. And that's effectively going to cost us here. So you can see why Manchester United were holding out for 30 million euros, because if they have to give McTominay some of that, that goes down massively, doesn't it? So, yeah, it's a little bit frustrating, but I think, even after everything I've just said, moving McTominay on is definitely the right decision. He's got 10 months left on his contract, 28 in October. The thought of giving McTominay a new 3 or 4 year contract just doesn't sound good to me. Yes, he works hard. Yes, he's come through the youth academy, but I think it's time to move him on. It's time to cash in, and it's time to actually make some profit on a player for once, because remember, He's come through the youth academy. We've never paid a transfer fee for him, so he would go down as 100% profit. So a little bit frustrating that we've got to give him money to go, but you can't really blame him, to be honest. Like, it is what it is, and we only have ourselves to blame, or the Glazers to blame. But you can let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comment section. Do you think we need Adrien Rabiot? Let me know. What's your thoughts on Amrabat? What's your thoughts on McTominay? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'm going to wrap the video up here. Have a great evening, everybody. I'll be back live at 8:30 tomorrow morning. Speak to you all then. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. This has been Daily with Devil, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now.